con la luna.
Pescado.
Habla con la playa.
Pescado.
No tiene fortuna, solo su atarraya.
Pescado.
Yeah, I noticed that immediately when we got down there, there's that sense of community, like everybody was sort of all in it together in a way. Like when I just noticed that with boating communities and people that live, in the wilderness a little bit, there's that little bit tighter sense of community, and everybody's sort of making sure everyone's okay. So I got that vibe right away when we got to Kuna.
Yeah. No, and it's always a surprise, right? We didn't knew each other. We didn't knew like the staff of Parks Canada coming with us. So it's always like you don't really know who you're gonna be with, how you're gonna go. But it went like super nice, no?
It did,
Had a wonderful time with everyone.
Yeah, Crystal and Siobhan were just so lovely.
Yeah, and John, he's a very good captain. He's so professional the whole time. He's very good at his job.
And I loved the coffee every morning too.
Yeah.
I made notes in my journal.
My name is Jason Goetzinger. I'm a visual artist, multidisciplinary, so I do sculpture and drawing and painting, and a little bit of jewelry as well. I live on Haida Gwaii. I live in Skidegate, and I've been making art professionally probably for about 28 years. I started with sculpture. I've always liked using my hands to shape things, so wood sculpture mostly, but I've tried stone and plaster and paper mache and things like that. I grew up around a lot of Haida artists that are good at a lot of different types of art. They do jewelry, they do painting, they do sculpture, and it just seemed sort of second nature to me to want to learn more all the time and continually add to my skill set. The subject matter usually involves being human, just what this life is about, and human behavior, human interaction with nature, some of the problems that we face on this earth being human. So things like environmental issues and things like that are usually topics that seem to come out in my work, and so I guess those are probably the things that concern me most on a very deep level. So. But they're also about communication with other humans, or about just understanding each other. Sometimes my drawings are just an emotion. They don't really have a story behind them, and then sometimes they have a full story behind them. So, and sometimes they're completely abstract. They don't really have anything to reference from. So they'd be just a non-objective piece of art that still makes you feel something through color and design and things like that. There aren't too many opportunities for emerging and mid-career artists to further themselves, and this artist residency is one that's been around for a few years. I wanted to make it an experience where I would gain knowledge and experience out of that would help me move forward with my artistic practice. And so I wanted to make connections with new artists and people that didn't live here, people that came from elsewhere, and find new perspectives and just immerse myself in experience. I was interested in just absorbing the experience more than anything, and that was supposed to inform my work because a lot of my work comes out through my subconscious. I do a process called automatic drawing, which I get my source material from for paintings and things like that. So I just relax my mind and let everything pour out of my subconscious, and so all of these experiences, and it just all sort of comes out in a, not really an abstract way, but in a way that a dream would come out, I guess. You can't always make sense of it, but and I don't always try to, but usually I try to assign the meaning after the work is done.
My name's Danielle Louise Allard. I am from the Haida Nation. I was born in Masset, but grew up off the island, mainly in Ottawa. I've been doing art since I was a child, but I kind of started focusing more into art when I was in high school. I went to a small fine arts school in Ottawa called the Ottawa School of Art, which was like a really studio-based program. Moved to Vancouver about 7 years ago and started focusing on becoming an artist, working in the art supply store and being a partner at a gallery, just a little artist-run gallery there. I had a huge community of people that kind of supported my focus on art. About 2.5 years ago, I moved up to Haida Gwaii and started working with Christian White. And since then, I've been a full-time working artist, which has been quite amazing. Dream come true kind of thing, yeah. For this project specifically, I took a ton of photos and used those as inspiration. The project was set out to utilize the earth and whatever I could gather from the park to bring back and then create my pieces from. So it was a lot of experimental things that did not necessarily turn out, but I was able to get some pigments. I used one pigment in specific because I could make a ton of it. It was kind of like a reddish ochre, and I utilized some of my photography and just kind of put pen to paper. And then I've done a lot of acrylic painting in the past, so I did a series of acrylic paintings in a style that I was doing when I actually applied for the residency. I called them dreamscapes because they're not necessarily photorealistic expressions, but they have the essence of the places that I've been in. So they all were based on photos that I took as well. That's one creative process of mine, but I'm a little bit sporadic in all of my work.
My name is Saulo Olmedo Evans. I was born in a beautiful, tiny little country called Panama in Central America, and because of the political situation in the late 80s in Panama, me and my family, we migrated to Montreal, where we were received as political refugees. So my grandma also came with us to Montreal, and since I was really young, I had the chance to listen a lot of her stories from her childhood, and specifically from the village of Chepo in Panama, where she was born. So when I was about 11 years old, me and my family, we came back to Panama. And when we came back, I had the chance to visit the village where my grandma Tita was born, so the village of Chepo. And there I've met my great-grandmother, Mama Reyes, who is a very important figure in all the stories of my grandma. So when I went there, I could confirm many of the stories of my grandma. No? So we have a lot of mythical characters in our folk stories. So in Chepo, there's a lot of duendes, so dwarfs, that play tricks on people. They lure children in the forest, and then the children, they get lost. We have La Chapaleta, which is the name we use for the king of hell. He's always around, also playing tricks on people. He always dressed very, very refinedly in white. Sometimes he had golden feet. So this is how I began my journey as a storyteller, listening to all the stories of my grandma. And then I had the chance to have many mentors from who I've learned different storytelling technique, and with time I've created my own style of storytelling that includes a lot of folk instrument of Panama. However, I don't create a lot of stories from scratch. I mostly retell, so I collect stories. Maybe sometime I'll arrange something, I'll put some songs in them, but it's very rare that I create stories from scratch. So this is why this residency in Gwaii Haanas, for me, it was both very inspiring but also challenging, because we went a whole week in Gwaii Haanas, and we smelled all the perfume of the plants, the moss, the tree, and we saw so many beautiful things, visiting the ancient Haide site, very charged energetically. We could really feel that those places are special. And then we would come back to the museum for a whole week to create. So this is a part that I don't know if it's only me, but I think for me it's difficult. Okay, now it's the moment to create. Just turn on the inspiration switch now. So I'm still searching for the button, actually. So last year in the residency, I've started to create a story, the beginning of a story. But it was really throughout the entire year that I started to dream with that story, to sleep with that story, to wake up in the middle of the night and writing some idea. Oh yeah, that might be good for this story. And then in the last maybe 3-4 months, I've concluded a story within a story, which is the creation I'm offering. So what inspired me the most to create this story was our stay in Windy Bay, our visit there. We had the chance to listen to many stories from one of the watchmen who was there, and also to know about the story that all the Haida, they got together to protect that forest that was going to be logged, by the logging company. So that really inspired me to create this story called The Mother Earth that will be displayed in the museum.
Heading home.
Yeah, I could have continued for a whole month, I think, like that.
Yeah.
That was great to meet Jason and Danielle, because Jason was born here, and Danielle as well. She was born and she came back, so they know a lot of stuff from Haida Gwaii, a lot of the meaning of the poles and how to read the poles. So I was really blessed to be surrounded with all these people who had so much knowledge about the plants, about the Haida culture.
Saulo is amazingly eccentric and so kind and welcoming, and it's really nice to see kind of this world from an outsider, someone completely foreign to this place. It was just really lovely to experience that with him, being able to kind of show him the land that my people have lived here for generations. That was just a really fun experience. And then with Jason, I've become friends with him. It's been nice to have that connection, that he grew up here. Even though I'm from here, I didn't grow up here, and it's nice to kind of hear his perspective on the islands, and the way that he embraces the culture and the land is just wonderful, and I so appreciate that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted, was to meet new artists and who came from somewhere else and had different perspectives, and worked in different mediums. And so Salo and Danielle were absolutely great to get to know, and we became good friends. We're all really good friends now. So yeah, it was a really, really good experience.